Well, hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. And you know where we can combine that?
Yes.
On the Wrestling Mayhem.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Victory Championship Wrestling, Victory and Justice for All. It is June 30th of 2024. We are here in McMecken, West Virginia. My name is Joe Mata, being joined by Declan Finnegan and Deck. Man, do we have a stacked card. We're going to hear from Ripper Blackheart.
You got that one right, Jimmy.
There's a term we use here in professional wrestling called card subject to change. So there's some changes to tonight's card I got to let you know about. First off, Remy LaRue, he was attacked by 3 unknown assailants at MySpace night. He is not going to be able to make it tonight. LeVay, yes, LeVay. So, what I have done, I found out Mad Dog Myers is returning tonight. I have stuck him into the match with Nathan Aulridge versus Cowpoke Paul. It's a triple threat match. And the winner will get a shot at the VCW title. And Patrick Hayes will be putting that title on the line tonight. Other news, Madman Pondo and Shadow had difficulties with their travel arrangements. They will not be able to make it. So, Beastman versus Gory, no DQ. That will be happening tonight. Now, if you guys are ready, let me hear you. All right, let's get this show started. Let's hear it for Remy.
And there you hear it from Ripper Blackheart, putting the law down here, shuffling the deck up. And to get us started here, first off, Felix,
well, you heard it from Ripper Blackheart. 2 big
I'll
matches
tell you what, Jimmy,
scheduled for later tonight. You're not
looking forward to this match for a long, long time. And Felix Cause, he's just up and coming. Got to see what he can do against Jean Paul.
The miserable Mime.
No, I don't know miserable is the right term. He's crafty.
Yeah, certainly we've seen Jean Paul
introducing first,
interject himself in Felix Cause's business over the past few months. Felix getting a chance at revenge here, but you can't undersell the miserable Mime.
You know what? I just think the Jean Paul, you see him come out with a little bit different look tonight.
He weighs in tonight.
He may have some surprises, and that's saying something for a Mime.
He is the mastermind, Jean Paul.
There you see him, Jean Paul Le Miserable. Finally, he could get some comeuppance here this afternoon in McMecken because, as we've said, he stuck his nose in Felix Cause's business on more than one occasion.
And his opponent, competitor number 2, he is hailing from Polka Castle, Pennsylvania, weighs in tonight at 220 pounds. Let's get ready to polka with Felix Cause.
a young man that has quickly won over the VCW faithful here at Bishop Donahue High School. But Deck, as you know, Felix Cause is an eccentric, powerful young athlete, and he's looking to put an end to the misery caused by the Mime here. A real grudge match that heated up very quickly over the span of just a few months.
You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Felix. He's an up-and-coming wrestler. But, you know, there's just something about this crafty Mime.
Certainly here in Victory Championship Wrestling.
Do you see this? Do you see this, Jimmy? Oh.
Was he trying to mime an accordion? What's
Jimmy,
going on here?
That's his accordion, and he just...
No, that is an accordion.
Well, that's Felix's accordion.
Jean-Paul did not have an accordion.
I can't believe you didn't see it.
Look out here, hip toss.
Oh.
That I do see, and the Mime's in trouble early. Of course, if you're watching us here on Facebook and YouTube for these first two matches, absolutely free. Once you get a little sample of the action here this afternoon, head over to IndyWrestling.network and watch this entire event. As you heard from Ripper Blackheart, shuffling up the deck. Shadow WX and Madman Pondo had travel issues, couldn't be here. But Gory, the New Age Plague, and the Beastman will collide. No disqualification. And speaking of collide, here comes Felix Cause. He leveled the Mime that time. And how do you, Deck, I'm going to ask you, how do you approach trying to compete against a Mime? Very unsettling.
Again, I don't even know how you prepare because there's just so much to this Mime. Now see, look at what he's doing. This is brilliant with the door.
What are you talking about?
He's the door. Didn't you just see that? This is brilliant.
Look out, dropping the elbow. That's what I saw. Lateral press
Did you see him open the door that quickly? This is incredible.
Did not hook the leg that time.
Uh-oh. LaMotta, what do you got? Oh, my goodness. LaMotta, do you see this?
What is
He's
going on?
He's got a rope of some sort, and it's around his... Oh, I'll tell you what, Felix Cause is in a bad way right now.
The referee's confused, and so am I.
What are you confused about? I know I'm not confused about Jean-Paul just giving him the business right now.
Well, this Mime has not endeared himself to
He doesn't have
the
to
VCW.
endear himself to anybody.
Well, results are what matter, and if he's victorious here, he's going to make a statement. As we've said, we've seen VCW be a true breeding ground for young talent. That could be the case here. One of these young athletes are going to put VCW on notice and move up the ranks.
Unless Felix can try to make something out of the mystery of the Mime, and now, oh my goodness.
What is John, what's he doing?
Can't you see it?
What are you talking about?
This is bad news. He's setting up for a 10-7 split. It looks like this is a bowling ball, and if he hits this, Jimmy.
Did you take too much Benadryl today or something?
Jimmy,
what are you talking about? You hallucinated.
Watch what happens. As you said, results matter, and oh my goodness.
I don't know what's going on here, but again, hashtag VCW for all. If you want to post your thoughts on social media, maybe someone can give us an answer here.
Well, the answer is, well, I had an answer, and then I'm confused about the dancing.
Spinning lariat, I'll call that effective. That's what that is.
That's
2.5.
quite a dance. That is quite a dance.
One thing we can say about Felix Cause, he is a young man that is very determined, has been very tenacious throughout his tenure here in VCW so far.
Now, see, if the crowd here in McMecken doesn't cooperate, I knew it.
What are you talking about?
This steel chair. The crowd wouldn't cooperate. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll tell you
that
right there,
backfired.
that's a clothesline.
That backfired.
And that's a back elbow.
Yeah.
Man, pump kick right to the jaw that time. Pinpoint precision. Felix Cause using that length he has. Very lanky competitor is able to lower the boom that time.
Now, I have to give credit where credit is due because, I mean, Jean-Paul was just pulling out all the stops, especially with that steel chair.
Felix Kaz looks like he's measuring the Mime. Could be looking to put this one away.
I don't know what's going to happen here, LaMotta, but it does not look good for the Mime. Oh, my goodness. What is going on?
Wait a minute. The Troublemakers.
You see this?
The Troublemakers have hit the ring. We saw last month, Declan, you saw it on IndyWrestling.us. Glenn Spector, the big boss, declared war on VCW, and they have completely taken this event, grinded it to a halt.
They said it was going to be, they were going to bring the war, and this is a war.
Felix Kaz getting absolutely mugged in the ring now, 4-on-1. And the Troublemakers don't care who you are as Tyler Brooks lowers the boom.
Absolute destruction.
No one is safe from the Troublemakers. They are putting their fingerprints all over this event here. What in the world is the explanation here? What is Glenn Spector
It's war.
And the Troublemakers, what are they trying to prove here?
It's a war, Jimmy, and I'm telling you.
Wait a minute, we're going to hear from Spector right now. We're going to get an answer.
Hey! This is who we are! This is what we do! One more time! On the B-O-S-S, Boston Professional Wrestling, Glenn Spector, with the N-T-R-L, Natural Clayton Christopher, and the P-T-T-B, Platinum, Tyler Brooks, and we are... Wait a minute. And the savage Lexus, Synn, because now we are perfect. We are the Troublemakers.
They have taken this event hostage.
I hope you're looking and I hope you're listening, because we run this place now. Last show, I declared war on VCW. And so, VCW, if you want a war, we're gonna take you to war.
VCW, we beat all tag teams across the tri-state area, and you're no different. See, we're not here to fight, we're here to conquer.
And that is an F-A-K-T fact. Send our opponents out right now!
Once again, Jim, I'm out of here with Declan Finnegan. We're here on the free portion of this event here on Facebook and YouTube, IndyWrestling.us, and of course on the Indie Wrestling Network.
And how fitting is it that on Victory for All?
Well, the Troublemakers wanted a war, and they may have gotten one here.
As I was saying, on Victory and Justice for All, there's a war that has been declared.
Just days away from Independence Day, and VCW may need to seek some independence from the Troublemakers because the Troublemakers are trying to run roughshod over everyone. Lumberjack, Larson, and Terry, I'm going to tell you, they're two youngsters out of the VCW Academy. They're looking for an opportunity, but again, they are absolutely bull rushed. Nowhere to go that time. Cannon Christopher is as blue chip as they come. Spector is as tenured and as seasoned as anyone can be, and they are really putting in the work here. Tandem offense, a trademark of a true tag team.
I mean, the Lumberjacks, give them credit where it's due, but I mean, how do you compete with the war?
Well, they certainly can't compete with that tandem offense. Because Larson and Terry, they are a relatively new team. Let's not forget that Spectre is the trainer of the fellow members of the Troublemakers. And look at this, Christopher lowered the boom and once again bouncing off the canvas. Violent impact from the Troublemakers.
And you said there the X factor is Spectre. I mean, this team would be dangerous enough, but being led by Spectre is just the X factor.
And I believe it's academic right there. 3 count, game over, man.
Here are your winners, Glenn Spectre, Ken and Christopher, the Troublemakers.
A declaration of war has been made in McMecken, and that man right there, Glenn Spectre, has put the entire landscape of Victory Championship Wrestling on notice.
Again, this is just the beginning of the war.
Come on, Eamon, don't give him a mic again.
Hey! What the hell? This is basically the Troublemakers show. I told you, Ripper Blackout, we own this. Hey, I'm calling right now. Zeke Mercer, you want me? You gotta go through my personal bodyguard first. Let's go. Let's go, Muscle Mommy!
Well, wait a minute. Again, the Troublemakers are holding this event hostage. They are calling out Zeke Mercer, who is scheduled to compete against Lexus Synn.
From Jackson, Mississippi, weighing in at 190 pounds, no mercy, Zeke Mercer!
And look at the look in the eyes of Lexus Synn, a combat sports athlete that is as dangerous as she is ambitious.
Mercer, back up. Your senior official is not in the ring, so back up, do not instigate. Hello, McMecken, West Virginia. How are you doing this evening? As you know, I am your senior official, Josh Maine. And here I am here to uphold the rules and regulations of Victory Championship Wrestling. And as everybody knows, as a competitor here at VCW, we wrestle under honor, respect, and integrity. And so I saw on the last show, Zeke, you said that you could beat Lexus Synn with one arm tied behind your back. So I cannot let the integrity of Victory Championship Wrestling be besmirched by lies. So if you are a person of your word, I do have some work here for you. And I will kindly, out of the kindness of my heart, put your hand right behind you.
Wait a minute, is Josh serious about this?
When they said it was a war,
of your word?
it's a war.
Fine.
Now wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Zeke Mercer did
And
say
please let people know who is
in
official
a
this match.
post-match interview that he would fight Lexus Synn with one arm
Your
tied
official
behind their
for
back.
this contest,
And LaMotta, there are
senior
no
official,
rules of war.
Josh Maine.
And again, a questionable call, another questionable call from Josh Maine.
What's questionable about this? The man said what he said.
Yes, Josh is
And
enforcing
if you
this
were a
rule.
man of integrity,
First of all, they were being figurative.
there's nothing figurative about war, LaMotta.
I understand what you're saying, but what we're going to see is Zeke, they are now at a severe disadvantage against a very dangerous Lexus Synn.
Again, you're asking for rules of war.
Well, you're right, because you can see Spectre antagonizing everyone at ringside, And Lexus Synn, who is in her formative years of professional wrestling, but is not new to the combat sports game. She has been a combat fighter the majority of her life.
Look, if you're going to make the statement like Zeke Mercer said, then you got to own up to it.
Spectre, have you on the take too?
I beg your pardon.
Once again, Jim Amata here with Declan Finnegan, Lexus Synn in the ring with Zeke Mercer, a scheduled matchup. But again, this entire event, our entire scheduled lineup, thrown into chaos, courtesy of the Troublemakers. And this is actually going to stand. Zeke Mercer, they are going to fight with one hand tied behind their back.
And look, Mercer is getting what they have coming to them. Because, again, how do you compete with this Lexus Synn on their own, and then all of a sudden now they have to do it with one hand tied behind their back?
Well, Zeke's doing okay so far, but man, you could see Lexus Synn is grinning like a Cheshire cat. She has an appetite for destruction.
Look at the size of Lexus Synn. And she's even giving Zeke a clean shot. Oh,
leverage maneuver, and that's what Zeke is going to have to do, stick and move in this occasion. And there Tyler Brooks getting involved as if the disadvantage wasn't big enough.
It's just reinforcements, LaMotta.
Now look out here. Zeke is getting mugged in the corner, and Josh does not seem too concerned about getting Lexus Synn to break that choke.
Again, when you've declared war, there are no rules.
And man, there's direct punches to the side of the head as we get hit in the temple.
And just think, this is the beginning. This is just the beginning of the war that the Troublemakers have declared.
And Mercer is quite literally on the ropes here. Oh man, and there you see that combat sports background with the running knee. And Lexus Synn just picking her spot. And you can hear the contact on the body shots. Deck, you know all about it. If you can't breathe, you can't fight. And Zeke is having all the air driven out of their body.
And how do you defend it? How do you defend it with one arm tied behind your back?
Well, clearly you don't, because again, you can hear the contact, flesh on flesh, bone on bone, as Lexus Synn continues to put a hurting on Zeke Mercer. We know how tenacious Zeke Mercer is, but they're fighting some long odds here.
And again, it's just futile. This would be something if Zeke was at full force, but you cannot defend against this. And this is what Zeke has to do. They're just on the defense.
Well, speaking of being on the defense, you saw it on IndyWrestling.us last month. Lexus Synn blindsided Mercer after a matchup.
Again, you say blindsided. This was the beginning of the war.
It certainly is, as Mercer is getting asphyxiated across that middle rope. And come on, Spectre picking the bones. I'm going to tell you what, man. Spectre is just a nasty,
he's a leader.
Disreputable individual.
He is a leader, and when you are a leader, you have to do whatever it takes at all costs.
Well, that's one thing we can agree on. There is nothing Spectre will not do to get ahead. And again, look at the scowl on the face of Lexus Synn.
I mean, it's all business with Lexus Synn.
And she's enjoying this. I'm telling you, she really gets a thrill out of hurting other people.
They're weapons. They're weapons of war, LaMotta.
I'm aware of that. Send Zeke off here. Zeke ducks under.
Oh.
Diving clotheslining. Could be some light at the end of the tunnel. You want to talk about the transactions of war? Spectre and the Troublemakers would have egg all over their face if Mercer is victorious, being at such a distinct disadvantage.
Again, this is just a minor setback.
And Tyler Brooks again getting involved here.
Oh my goodness, what has happened here, LaMotta? Now
Felix
see
pause.
again.
The reinforcements have arrived.
And where are the rules, Jimmy? Where are the rules?
I believe they're outside the ring with John Paul,
No.
Felix Cause.
Something has to be done to stop. This is ridiculous.
Why? Because the Troublemakers have to face even odds? But we still have a matchup in the ring here. Mercer.
Again, what did Cause and Jean
Look out,
have?
shoulders down! They got it!
Oh my goodness. How is that possible?
Here is your winner, no mercy, Zeke Mercer!
It took just 3 seconds.
How is it possible? He had one hand tied behind the back.
And Declan, I believe we're gonna wrap up our free portion. If you're watching us here on YouTube or Facebook, head over to IndyWrestling.network because we have a loaded lineup here. Let's not forget Gory and Beastman, no disqualification.
So once again,
Clayton King finally gets his opportunity.
And you tried. You said to every last person here that you declare war on VCW. Well, here's some news for you. Actually, it's only news for you because I am the heart of VCW. And since you want to declare war on VCW, that means you declare war on me. So, Troublemakers, how about this? September 1st, me versus all Yanks. I don't care if I do this alone, because September 1st is a fans bring the weapons match.
And I believe some allies are going to join Zeke Mercer in that fight against the Troublemakers September 1st, the next time we're in this building.
Well, I will admit this seems to be a smart move. And I totally agree. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Since when do you speak mime?
I'm fluent in several languages, Lamada.
I'm sorry about what he said. This is a family show, pal. Just like you think, Mercer. And I speak for everybody in here. When I said, we are sick and tired of these 3 brats in red running around with their grandpa calling themselves the Troublemakers. Well, on September 1st, if you need help, we will solve your troubles.
September 1st, fans bring the weapons match.
Whoa.
Zeke Mercer, Felix Cause, Jrock. Exactly. Versus the Troublemakers. I'll see you in September.
The next chapter in the war between VCW and the Troublemakers, September 1st, 6-person tag, and it's fans bring the weapons.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Felix Cause, Jean Paul, and your winner, Zeke Mercer!
And now, Deck, I believe after all of that, we're finally going to transition here. If you've been watching us on YouTube and Facebook, jump over to IndyWrestling.network. It is live. It will be violent. Gory versus the Beastman, Clayton King versus Keith Haught, and so much more. A full lineup, all action. Join us on IndyWrestling.network. And here we see it. Once again, my name is Jim Amata, your Declan Finnegan, Clayton King, and the Bearcat. Clayton King has been looking for an opportunity for several months, being represented by J.D. Sinclair. Sinclair has invested a lot of money into the development of Clayton King. Clayton King, known as a pure athlete through and through, collegiate hockey player, tennis, badminton, played all sorts of sports in his heyday, transitioned that athleticism to professional wrestling. But we're going to find out if his mouth has bitten off a little more than he can chew.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
referee,
Jimmy, I don't understand where you're coming from.
Ash.
No! 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 Turn that off! That's not how we're starting this! No! Turn it off!
This guy always has a gripe, doesn't he?
You're all here for my debut. Whoever is responsible for that mistake, bring him out here now! Get him out here! So this is you. That was you. What do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, wait a minute. You're slapping around our sound guy, and
Look, you do not make mistakes in my presence.
what a sleazy individual Sinclair is.
Sinclair's no dummy.
We're gonna go in the back. We're gonna try again. And you're gonna get it right.
Listen, mistakes happen, and that's nowhere near the worst sound guy I've ever seen. Come on here.
No. J.D. Sinclair is no dummy. He's very smart, very wise. I think you're going to see some amazing things from Clayton King.
Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by J.D. Sinclair, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio. He weighs in tonight at 200 pounds. He is the Monarch, Clayton King.
And as you've already seen, J.D. Sinclair is a less than reputable individual, but he has thrown around a lot of money. And if you're going to invest that type of cash into Clayton King, then you know that Clayton King has the skills to back it up. As we've said, he has been a collegiate athlete for several years throughout his collegiate tenure, transitioning that to the pro ranks. And Declan Finnegan, I'm going to ask you right now, what is it like for a collegiate athlete to transition to the pro ranks?
Well, first of all, I mean, look at the style that Clayton King has. Let's forget about any athletic ability that this man would have to begin with. He's just oozing style. And then on top of it,
He's oozing something. I don't know if it's
And
style.
his
Again,
opponent,
why do you? You should be ashamed of yourself.
making their way to the ring, hailing from where the Wild Things are, weighing in tonight at 265 pounds, Bearcat, Keith Haught.
Hey, Deck, I got a question for you.
What's that?
How excited is Keith Haught right now?
I mean, the man needs a sedative.
The Bearcat, they are a little dizzy here in McMecken, but they are always.
It's been a fantastic card already. How couldn't you be dizzy? My head's spinning just sitting here.
The Bearcat, one of the most unique, energetic, entertaining, and adrenaline-filled athletes. They are pure adrenaline, and they love to have fun, but Clayton King on the opposing corner is certainly not here for any fun and games. Pure business. As you can see in the background there, J.D. Sinclair has a lot of money invested in the career of one Clayton King.
Of course, and Clayton King, you know, he has all of this ability, and then on top of it, he has the backing of Sinclair.
And to your point, I'm going to ask you this. We know that with Sinclair's investment, he's going to get a hefty portion of Clayton King's contract.
Well, it all depends on the negotiations. But, again, you're probably right because Sinclair's not a dummy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sinclair's about making the dollars. And you know
He's
that,
about winning, though, too.
yeah, it's about making the cash, which means Sinclair is dangerous because there's no low he won't sink to, like slapping around our poor sound guy.
Again, that seemed like a misunderstanding. Don't blow
Speaking
this out
of
of
slapping
proportion.
around, I believe the Bearcat, they slapped Clayton King around a little there. Or maybe that was a palm strike to the glute.
Ooh.
There's another slap, speaking of which.
And I will say the Bearcat does have the experience, does have the advantage over that, but when you have the style that Clayton King has and when you have the leadership of J.D. Sinclair.
And to your point, Sinclair able to be a roadblock there, slowed the Bearcat down, and now Clayton King exploiting the advantage.
And again, that's what he's going to do. He's a blue chip athlete. He's smart, style.
He checks all the boxes, that's for sure, but it's about results. We've seen Clayton King and J.D. Sinclair campaign for this opportunity for several months. They're going to have to put their money where their mouth is here. We're going to find out if King can live up to the hype, and he's doing pretty good right now. To your point, the Bearcat, they are over I believe a 12 or 13-year pro in this industry, so they do have a distinct experience advantage. There's no substitute for advantage.
No.
But Clayton King is pure athleticism, as we're seeing right here.
Not taking anything away from the Bearcat. But, I mean, when you have...
And
oh,
there's
look
the
at this.
benefit of Sinclair, picking the spot.
See, that is smart. That's a smart investment right there, LaMotta.
You're one of those hedge fund guys, aren't you?
No. Again, why do you continue to do this to me? I'm just calling it the way I see it.
And the Bearcat is calling Clayton King on.
Ugh.
The Bearcat is pulling the punk card of Clayton King.
And look at the Bearcat just absorb. Oh, my.
I don't know if you want to exchange strikes with Keith, because Keith is a heavy, heavy hitter.
That is something I definitely would agree with there. This does not seem like a wise move by King.
And Keith, with that low center of gravity, they really know how to generate a lot of momentum from different angles. And speaking of angles, Clayton King stringing the offense together. And despite this being Clayton King's debut in VCW, you can see the flashes of that athleticism. You can see those bare bones, those elements that he could really build upon here. But how you do that is winning this first matchup.
Well, again, there's a learning curve, certainly. But look at the man. And look at Sinclair.
Keith Haught works their way back up to a vertical base, trying to extricate themselves here. And to your point, Declan, Sinclair is going to play a role in this matchup one way or another. Look out. Big time collision. What's going to happen here?
This looks bad. This looks, oh.
It certainly does look bad. Clayton King got crushed. J.D. Sinclair may need to invest in a squeegee to get Clayton King off the mat.
This is not a good situation right now. He needs to regroup, try to do whatever he can, take some of that advice from Sinclair.
Certainly Sinclair is going to be an extra pair of eyes, but right now it's down to fisticuffs.
They're fighting, too.
It's an elbow, if you will, and there's a clothesline. Clayton King is a little worse for wear, and Sinclair looks to be sweating bullets on the outside.
Sinclair needs to regroup. Sinclair needs to take charge, do what he can to get his guy out of the ring.
Brody-style knee drop, hooks the leg, finds 2.5. Sinclair may be in cardiac arrest if his investment comes up a bust here. Maybe one of those Bernie Madoff investments.
Wouldn't you be upset, LaMotta?
And that MB Meteor could become crashing down. See, that's a sign of a true pro right there. Clayton King takes a powder, and slows down the momentum that was clearly in the favor of Keith Haught.
Well, if you're the blue chip athlete, the Clayton King is, you know that defense wins championships.
Oh, wait a minute. Sinclair hooks the leg. Getting involved, and Clayton King just stole one.
Perfect. Smart.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Clayton King.
I'm going to tell you this, Finnegan. It wasn't ethical, but it was effective. A win is a win. Results are what matter, and you can see the smirk on the face of J.D. Sinclair. He knows that Clayton King has officially made his debut successfully, and we could be talking about that young man for a very long time here in VCW.
Absolutely. You know, under Sinclair's guidance, Clayton King with the style. Look at this. LaMotta, look at this.
Well, the Bearcat will not be denied, but I believe we're going to have some violence on tap here.
Before we get away with more, I'd also like to remind you, if you have high aspirations to be
And of course, thank you for joining us here on the Indie Wrestling Network. After you get done watching us here live, make sure to go back all the archives of VCW and many other organizations here on the network. And Deck, you've been a viewer of the Indie Wrestling Network for a long time. Thank you again for being here, tagging in for Eamon Payton, handling ring announcing duties this afternoon.
It's your pleasure.
And certainly the Beastman and Gory on tap next. It's going to be wild. As we know, Shadow WX and Madman Pondo, due to travel issues in Texas, could not be here this afternoon. But I have a feeling that we're going to get more than we bargained for with the violence of the Beastman and Gory.
And am I right, this is a no DQ match?
Falls count anywhere, brother. If they come over here, don't tell me to run. You're going to be talking to yourself. I'm going to surprise everyone. I'm out of here. I'll be a cloud of dust.
So am I just supposed to stand here and fend for myself?
I don't care what you do. If they come over here, you're on your own.
Coward.
And the man you're going to see make his way through the curtain right now, 20 years in the game.
Introducing first,
Gory.
from the Ogden Marsh, he is the New Age Plague, Gory!
Gory started his journey in professional wrestling in 2004 when he was just 18 years old. And over the past 2 decades, there has been no one more fearless and no one that is willing to take a chance quite like Gory.
Now they say, thank you. They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And in the past 24 hours, Beastman, I feel closer to you than ever before. It's no secret in the VCW locker room that the VCW office is a little hard to get a hold of. But in the past 24 hours, I get calls, and I get texts, and I get backup plans because Madman Pondo and Shadow WX can't make the show. Now that's a match that was promised to him. And that's a match that had my name on it. Not anymore. So I'm going to say this. I'm a businessman. That's not good business. It kind of feels to me like the Evil Ways name doesn't mean too much now that you've punched your ticket to Japan. So I'm going to say this while I hopefully have your undivided attention, however much of that you have up there. And I'm going to say this. I don't respect you. That's new information. I don't respect this company. I actually kind of hate these people, too, given what they're doing. And I hate driving down here. So, I got a lot of love in my heart, though, for all of you. I'm going to say there's still going to be a match. So why don't you get out here and fight me right now?
Well, clearly Gory is
And to be
upset.
honest, after this match, you're not going to be able to get on that plane, okay?
Clearly Gory is upset that he didn't get that chance to compete against Deathmatch Legends.
And his opponent, from deepest, darkest West Virginia, he is the Stone Age Savage, Beastman!
As I was saying, clearly Gory is upset that because of the travel situation, he did not get that matchup against Deathmatch Legends, Shadow WX and Madman Pondo. As we know, Beastman has been announced to be touring with the Big Japan promotion in the month of July. But as we've seen, clearly Gory has an objective here. They want to make sure that the Beastman doesn't make it on the plane to Tokyo.
And Gory has a right to be disappointed. This was a big match that he had prepared for, and now at the 8th hour, something happens. I can understand him being upset. Now, I'm not sure I'd ask for what he's asking for, but to each his own.
As I said, for 20 years, Gory has been a fearless kamikaze, and he has an objective this afternoon.
Fearless is one thing, but it just seems like you're walking into a hornet's nest here.
And that could be exactly what it is. Wait a minute, you can't turn your back on Gory. And the Beastman paid for it here, and the fight is on. But you can't match mass with that Neanderthal. I believe it goes without saying here that Gory's going to have to stick and move, use his quickness like he did right there.
Well, of course. I mean, you can't match up against... just devastating. You can't match up against size with Beastman, but...
I don't know if that Cro-Magnon skull is going to take any damage. But Gory certainly will. An unsettling thud. Look out, George! Referee George Ross almost took a swat from the Stone Age Savage. That's a hell of a catch from our
It is
ring
a heck
crew.
of a catch.
Look out here. Gory hits the floor.
Hope he didn't have to catch that. My goodness.
And we knew this was going to get violent. It didn't take long. The New Age Plague going to fight back here. And once again, I'm going to tell you, if they make their way up here, don't tell me to run. You're going to be talking to yourself. Look out!
Oh.
And did you hear the thud? Suplex on the rampway. Solid wooden ramp.
Just echoing through this building here in McMecken.
I don't know if Bishop Donahue High School can withstand this fight.
Who could withstand this fight, LaMotta?
Well, Gory went low, and it's all legal here.
And the crowd seems wise to
And
get
blood-
out of the way.
Blood has been spilled. You can see Gory looking at that elbow has been split open from hitting the rampway. And that is a barbed wire crutch. This is going to get, speaking of Gory, it's going to get Gory very quickly.
What on earth?
That is barbed wire wrapped around that crutch.
What on earth is happening, LaMotta?
And you want to know how unrefined, how unfiltered the mammoth.
Unrefined?
Oh, God, he's using the barbed wire across the face.
Unrefined? LaMotta, that's barbed wire. That's a crutch.
And it was just ripping at the flesh of Gory here.
I mean, it's one thing to be on the outside of the ring, but this is just amazing and absurd all at the same time.
You've been following this business for a few decades. I understand that you've been reporting on and a source within this industry. I don't know if even you've ever seen something quite like
madness.
this.
It's madness is what it is. The whole card this afternoon has just been out of control. And it's not even halfway done.
Oh, look out.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. Gory just took out a few rows of chairs, and that's a solid wooden.
What is going on now?
Anybody within striking distance is in danger. No one's going to stop the Beastman.
Unless Gory can find a way. This is just going to spell bad news.
I think every fan in this building should be careful, because if the action's coming your way, and again, Gory, an act of self-preservation, if it's not nailed down, these two are going to use it, and they may use a few things that are nailed down.
Now what's Gory have?
I believe Gory's trying to tear up a pop can there. He may be looking to dice the Beastman up here. Look out. This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen.
I've never seen anything like it. Oh, my goodness. Now, that just didn't even give. There's no give. Those are bleachers.
Oh, man.
And what's Gory setting up for?
He's got that aluminum can, I believe.
This is getting scary, LaMotta.
Oh, look out. Double stomp across the table.
Okay. End this. Oh, my goodness. What is Gory?
Oh, my God. Gory is tearing at the flesh with an aluminum can.
Okay, Jimmy, this is getting...
And digging into the back, trying to just tear the flesh from the body of the Beastman.
This is just getting unsettling at this point.
It's getting unsettling now? Where you been the past 5 minutes, pal?
Look, I understand. When you're in this situation, you got to do what you got to do, but this is just unnecessarily dangerous.
Well, this is Gory trying to exact a measure of revenge, in his eyes at least, because he did not get that matchup with the Deathmatch Legends.
That would have been devastating in the middle of the ring, and it was against the cement block wall. And now with the table, LaMotta.
I'm speechless. I'm out of words here, because this is bloody, it's violent.
And when does it stop? When does it stop?
Where is Beastman taking Gory?
I understand that Gory kind of wants to make a mark, send a message before the Beastman leaves. But at some point in time.
Where are they going? That's at our ticket table. I don't know.
What is Beastman got? Is that the Money in the Bank suit? Oh, no,
that's the money box. Those things are solid steel. Poor Anna needs to watch out.
I've heard it pronounced both ways.
And Gory biting at the flesh. You want to talk about desperation. Gory biting the flesh of the Beastman.
And where does Gory find this energy, this passion?
The reserves. Look out.
Again, LaMotta, when does this stop?
It's not going to stop until we have a 3 count. That's what's going to happen.
Someone has to get murdered, it seems like, before somebody's going to do something about this.
Well, this may be taking deathmatch wrestling to a very literal sense.
And again, I understand the disappointment. I understand that Gory had prepared for a match, and now there's a different match. But somebody's going to get really hurt here.
Well, this is a measure of revenge for Gory. He wants to stop the Beastman before he ever lands in Japan. And the Beastman has been lacerated. He got cut, and he is bleeding badly. Gory he's drawn blood on the Beastman in McMecken.
Somebody's got to do something to try to bring this to a stop. Look, Somebody's going to get seriously injured.
And Gory just fish hooking the face here. Again, there are no rules. We knew this was going to be violent, but even I didn't expect this to happen. And the Beastman's thigh is bleeding from where Gory took a chunk out of his leg.
Well, now it's going back.
Gory is quite literally bloodthirsty.
It's finally going back to ringside, so hopefully there's some semblance of order here, but I don't know.
We may need the West Virginia National Guard to break this one up, man.
It is a war. I just want some justice
and
for both of these individuals.
And at this point, the Beastman could be taken over here, and that doesn't bode well for Gory because the Beastman's dangerous enough with just those bear paws that he calls arms.
What? I don't even know what to say at this point, LaMotta, because I've never seen.
Oh, wait a minute!
This
Now
much.
we're getting a shot of it. The Beastman wrapping the barbed wire around his own arm.
When does it stop? Please make it stop.
And again, the barbed wire into the top of the face of Gory. The original matchup between Madman Pondo, Shadow WX, and these two that you're seeing right now was going to be presented by Evil Ways. Well, we've got some Evil Ways right here because they are maiming each other with barbed wire and anything they can get their hands on.
Well, I don't understand how this has gotten to this point. And
look out.
Oh. Do you hear that?
Gory's got to be, he doesn't know where he's at right now.
Would you?
McMecken or anywhere else.
Oh. I mean.
Unrefined violence from the mammoth Beastman.
This is just making me uncomfortable. I don't like where this is going. He's lifted up the apron. I don't know what he could bring out at this point. LaMotta, can somebody do something here?
Yeah, the Beastman's going to use that table. That's who's going to do something.
Look, I know this is no DQ, but not.
Is that a staple gun?
Yes. No. Come on.
This may be the most violent matchup we've ever seen in VCW, and that's covering a lot of ground.
I understand this is no disqualification, but somebody can get seriously.
They're already seriously injured. What are you talking about?
When does it stop? Where's the humanity?
Humanity is not an adjective I would use to describe the Beastman now gnawing on the face of his opponent.
Just biting the flesh off of Gory.
And again, if you notice, Beastman bleeding from his face, bleeding from his leg, Gory bleeding from his arm, bleeding from his forehead.
Now the action's gone back to the ring.
I don't think it's going to stay there for long.
Something has to. Look, I understand this is a no DQ match, but is J-Rocc going to do anything here?
The Beastman is not necessarily the most educated individual, but he may be educated in violence. There's the miss to blind the Beastman. Oh, that's a staple gun!
He fell through the table!
And he hit the wooden floor.
Oh, this is not good. And he still has the staple gun.
It is falls count anywhere. Beastman got his shoulder up.
Now he's asking for something from the crowd here in McMecken. LaMotta.
Well,
no.
Gory has a PhD in violence.
This is supposed to be all about victory and justice. There's no justice here.
Oh my God.
Okay.
The Beastman.
There's no call for this whatsoever.
He has dollar bills literally stapled to his body.
Well, the good news is if Beastman does make this trip, he'll have money for a tip.
Well, that's the point. Gory wants to make sure that the Beastman does not
Now, where's he going?
And if
I don't
Gory,
understand what is.
If
what
Gory,
is going.
where is he going?
Oh,
and Gory
my
has
God.
a light tube.
LaMotta.
This is
LaMotta, we
going
do need
too
to do
far.
something. LaMotta, we do
White
need to do
tubes
something
have put,
at this point.
White tubes have literally put lives in jeopardy in professional wrestling. This is going too far.
We can't just sit idly by and let this happen, Jimmy.
Oh, no. Look
Please.
out.
Oh. Oh!
What the hell was that?
That wasn't just a normal weapon. That was.
I have no idea how. I don't know what that was, but I know Gory is in some serious trouble right now.
I was so distracted by the weapon, I even missed the pinfall call. I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, look
my
out! Oh my God! White tube across the back.
Strike one, strike two, hits it out of the park.
Glass everywhere, cover, and somehow Beastman still kicks out. Look at the glass littered on the canvas, telling a violent story, a violent narrative of this matchup.
This is complete and utter devastation.
It's chaos.
Broken glass, blood. What is. Now. Oh. What's next, LaMotta? The kitchen sink? Like.
If it's not nailed down, these two may use it. And if the white tube didn't finish the Beastman off, Gory clearly has something else in mind.
I cannot believe that a human being is going to go through this door.
Glass all over the canvas.
This cannot happen. This cannot happen.
And the Beastman dazed, bleeding, but still going to fight on. And what in the world is going to happen here? This is dangerous. That's the adjective right here. This is very, very dangerous.
Dangerous? LaMotta, this is brutal.
One of the most out-of-control contests we have seen here in this organization, 2.5-year history, and we've seen some wild fights.
And these two were supposed to be partners. Oh, my goodness.
What the hell is that?
It's ugly is what it is.
That's a fishing hook.
Oh, no.
No,
oh
he's
God.
putting it in his mouth.
LaMotta.
This is one of the most grotesque things I've ever seen. Oh, look out. Interception.
No!
Highway driver through the door.
That has to be
And
it.
mercifully, could it be over?
Oh,
it
thank
is.
goodness.
It was a violent spectacle.
LaMotta.
Here is your winner, Beastman!
White tubes, chairs, barbed wire, doors, and a damn fishing hook. It was an absolute gory spectacle, a violent extravaganza we've seen this afternoon in McMecken.
I don't even know what I witnessed here, but I know I don't ever want to see anything like this again. This was pure devastation. It made me so uncomfortable to watch.
Oh, wait a
That's
minute.
right. I'm back. Love it.
Why does J.D. Sinclair have a mic? What is going on?
In case you haven't figured out by now, Sinclair Corporation has acquired Congo Kong. And I am the reason that you keep getting beaten down by Congo Kong over and over and over.
We saw that confrontation at 5 Day Friday last month.
Mr. Kong wanted me to deliver you a message. His message was simple. September 1st, Congo Kong versus the Beastman in a last monster standing match. I will deliver the message. Enjoy what short life you have left.
After that absolute war, the Beastman has a date with Congo Kong September 1st. But before he gets there, that Neanderthal will be heading overseas. The Beastman takes Japan in just a few short weeks. Let's send it down to Eamon Payton here as we're going to get kicked off. And there you see it, Declan. Marcus Twist, Garrett Lee. Tag team grudge match, but it's going to be one-on-one because the Saturday Night Special deviously took out Gavin Jacobs. We saw that incident on our social media pages. So Garrett Lee fighting it alone here against Marcus Twist.
This should definitely be an interesting matchup for sure, especially with the attack that had happened.
Let me ask you this. How are these two tag team wrestlers going to adapt themselves to singles competition?
Well, I don't know.
Being accompanied to the ring by DD Vice from Morgantown, West Virginia, weighing in at 225 pounds. He is the candy-coated razor blade and one half of Saturday Night Special, Marcus Twist.
The Applebee's enthusiast. They are sleazy. They are underhanded.
Opponent.
But Twist is going to have a fight on his hands this afternoon.
From Wheeling, West Virginia, weighing in at 205 pounds, he is one half of the VCW Tag Team Champ.
And we knew it would be a grudge match. We're off and cooking immediately here. We've got a hockey fight in McMecken, and it looks like Garrett Lee's getting the better of Marcus Twist here.
It is very clear immediately that these two gentlemen do not like each other.
Calling Marcus Twist a gentleman is a little bit of a stretch.
Well, there are times that I call you a gentleman, LaMotta.
Oh man, DD Vice picks his spot back of your screen, sucker punching Garrett Lee, and immediately this 2-on-1 situation coming into play. Certainly Garrett Lee at a distinct disadvantage here because, as we said, Gavin Jacobs taking out arm injury has put him off of this card.
It's all good in the neighborhood.
And Saturday Night Special, there's just something unsettling about these guys. They are sleazy, they are underhanded, but they are effective. And we know, as Deck, you've watched it on IndyWrestling.us, the Indie Wrestling Network, you've seen that they want to obtain those VCW Tag Team Championships that, of course, are currently held by the Wayward Sons.
But why do you call it sleazy? Again, if you can win and if results matter, why is it sleazy?
That right there, a blatant breaking of the rules here. DD Vice, again, like a thief in the night, going to pick his spots.
I just think that you're not giving enough credit to these fine gentlemen.
Did they bribe you with some Applebee's coupons, some gift cards? What's going on?
Well, it's not the Olive Garden, but it's not for nothing either. I know how much you like the Olive Garden.
When you say that again, we're going to be fighting. But right now, Marcus Twist really trying to pinpoint that knee, just the way that they pinpointed the elbow of Gavin Jacobs in that attack. It looks like they're using the same strategy here, focusing on a body part, kind of the Anderson philosophy, so to speak.
Absolutely. When it comes down to breaking a man down, you take a body part and you just work it and work it and work it.
Ukrainian leg sweep here. Cover, hooks that leg. And that's what I'm saying. As sleazy as Marcus Twist may be, he's an accomplished professional.
Why is it sleazy? Again, if it works, and it's all about winning, why is it sleazy? It's all good in the neighborhood.
Look out here. Marcus Twist shoots him off. Garrett Lee with the reversal. Ducks under. Big mid-ring collision. Air driven out of everybody. And Deck, we're at a virtual stalemate here.
Looks like they had the same idea at the same time.
And that shows you how well these two teams know each other.
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth.
This is a long tenured rivalry. And that's why I believe the intensity has really notched up in recent months.
Well, there needs to be some regrouping for sure by both sides.
And I believe this is where D.D. Vice being on the outside, being that extra pair of eyes for Marcus Twist, can really come into play.
Again, it's important to always have your back. Someone always be there just to watch, just to make sure. Oh.
Garrett Lee shrugs him off. Again, we've seen that Marcus Twist has been targeting that leg. Garrett Lee knew he was in trouble. Sense of urgency here. Twisting suplex. Nicely done by one half of the VCW Tag Team Champions.
And that's where Twist has the advantage here, to always have someone having his back. As you see right now up on the apron.
Oh, look out. And George Ross having a difficult time here trying to reprimand both members of Saturday Night Special.
Goodness.
Miscue. Roll up,
No.
shoulders down.
No! Now, he's going to get his comeuppance now. This was totally uncalled for.
This may be what the objective truly was.
No.
They may want to take out Garrett Lee as well.
Well, of course, but now they have to resort to doing this because Ross can't figure out how to control a match.
Oh, wait a minute. This is bad news for Garrett Lee. As I said, we've already seen that Saturday Night Special will try to eliminate the competition, and the big man putting in the work here plants Garrett Lee, and we need some help, maybe some officials.
He's just getting what he deserves.
And Marcus Twist.
And this is the outcome that should have happened from the beginning. But that referee.
How's that feel?
And what's Marcus Twist have to add here?
Shut up and listen,
Everyone
Lamada.
knows this is a blood feud now. We took your legs. We took your partner's arm. Now, we want another shot at those tag titles. And since you won, since he won fair and square, you losers get to pick the stipulation. They cheated! So whenever he wakes up, somebody let him know.
The challenge has been put down by Saturday Night Special, but what will the stipulation be?
McChicken sucks! All you people suck!
I
And
hope
come
Twist
next
isn't running
time
for
at
office in the
VCW,
fall.
you'll have new tag team champions. So you better get used to seeing it now.
That's right.
Well, Twist living up to that saying across this T-shirt. That's all.
You're
That's all I'll
shaped like
say
a
about
really
this.
overfilled garbage bag, lady. That's really fitting for around here. Nothing but trash. Poor white trash.
Saturday Night Special have laid down the challenge and made a definitive statement. One thing is for sure, the tag team division here in VCW continuing to heat up. And I'll tell you what, Deck, we've got a very intriguing matchup on tap here. The longtime veteran, one of the most accomplished veterans on the independent circuit, J-Rocc, will square off against Andrew Powis.
I am really looking forward to this matchup.
Andrew Powis, one of the most energetic and accomplished athletes that I've ever seen. The man that is the human personification of a can of Red Bull is one Andrew Powis.
The next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall.
And you have to think this will be an opportunity for J-Rocc to plant his flag in VCW the same way that he has put his fingerprints all across the independent circuit.
I mean, J-Rocc has been everywhere.
J-Rocc Day.
Making his way to the ring and making his VCW debut from Cleveland, Ohio. He weighs in tonight at 240 pounds. Give it up one time for J-Rocc.
J-Rocc, his reputation precedes him more than 25 years in the wrestling business, and he is as good as ever. As I said, he has had his fingerprints all across the independent circuit, but he has arrived.
If you suck as a referee as bad as this ring announcer, we're going to have some big trouble, bub. Listen up. You suck. Get it right. What he said is give it up one time for J-Rocc.
As I was saying, J-Rocc
J-Rock's been everywhere.
Has his fingerprints all across the independent circuit. He
And
ran the
his
Roost in
opponent.
Cleveland. The soulful sounds of Freddie Mercury beaming throughout the building.
From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he weighs in tonight at 203 pounds. He is the Tasmanian Devil, Andrew Powis.
You think Powis had enough caffeine this morning?
I mean, you got to get worked up. You got to have that energy to try to match wits with J-Rocc. Certainly the advantage here, and look at it right away, right from the get-go, that experience that J-Rocc has is going to pay dividends.
Powis could not get out of the blocks and got absolutely blindsided here. The bell has rung. We are officially underway. My name is Jim Amato. Of course, you are Declan Finnegan. VCW, hashtag VCW for all, June 30th at Bishop Donahue High School in McMecken. J-Rocc making his VCW debut, and Powis just powered out of the corner. Steamrolls the longtime veteran.
I mean, there's something to be said for pyro and ballyhoo, but, you know, J-Rock's all business.
Look out, step up, Hurricane Rana. And Powis is cooking so far this afternoon. Hooks that leg.
You're going to need to do a whole lot more than that to try to get the best of J-Rocc here.
And J-Rocc forcing an impromptu timeout, so to speak.
Well, of course, you got to be smart, LaMotta.
High ring IQ for J-Rocc.
Absolutely, and when you come out like a house of fire, like Powis tried to do, maybe it's smart just to take a step back
Well, absolutely. J-Rocc trying to halt the momentum of Powis, but he gets brought in the hard way. And Powis like a missile there, launching himself at J-Rocc. We know that Powis was really close to obtaining the VCW Heavyweight Champion back at $5 Friday, but the complexion of this matchup changes as Powis racks off that ring post,
And just like that, the whole composition of this match changes.
No doubt about it. The tide has tilted. And Powis could be in some real jeopardy here. He's clutching that shoulder.
And the only thing J-Rocc needs is an opening. As soon as he has this opening, you're going to see
that veteran sense take over. And that's exactly what we're seeing here.
The complexion of this match just changed on a dime.
And as notorious as J-Rocc may be, I can tell you this. You don't survive 25 years in the wrestling business without being a shark, and J-Rocc certainly is. J-Rocc is dangerous, and he gets it done one way or another.
He's a professional.
Absolutely.
Then why did you call him a shark? What's the negative connotation of, again, when people work hard, when people want to win, you just take that away from them and you assume, LaMotta, that they have nefarious ways. The man wants to win.
Well, right now, we're seeing Powis fight back here. Very evenly matched contest so far, which is what we expected. These are two polished professionals, a matchup that we're looking forward to. Russian leg sweep, floats over, shoulders down, and hooks the leg.
I mean, the action here is just dizzying at this point.
Yeah, very, very seamless, and that's really the way that you build the momentum in a matchup, transitioning from one move to the next, point, counterpoint, and right now we're seeing how J-Rocc, dictating the pace of this contest, has the momentum of Andrew Powis quite literally grounded here.
Well, J-Rocc has so much experience, you're not going to outsmart the man. So again, Powis was smart, try to come out like a house on fire, try to do what he could, but look at J-Rocc. How do you compete against this?
Well, that's what Powis is doing right here. Powis works his way back up to a vertical base, but a handful of hair. And
tried to.
And notice how J-Rocc knew that Powis was getting back up to his feet, so he drug him all the way back down to the canvas.
He's a ring veteran.
Absolutely a ring general, because J-Rocc knew exactly where they were inside the squared circle.
And if you remember, J-Rocc has had a ton of experience, not just as a singles wrestler either, but also as a tag team competitor. So if it looks like he's cutting off the ring as if he's in a tag team, that's not an accident.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, really knowing where he is at all times. But Powis reaching down, trying for an opening here.
And that was a smart move by Powis.
Well, he had to escape there. His oxygen was being cut off. But we're going to see here who gets to their feet first, because the first man will have a definitive advantage in the conclusion of this contest. And J-Rocc on Dream Street right now. Oh, man, back fist.
That did come out of nowhere.
And you can see that Powis is generating offense from every angle. Hooks that leg. J-Rocc getting that far shoulder up.
Well, it's clear that Powis wants to try to take control by utilizing his speed.
Yeah, he has made a career of getting that momentum rolling downhill, so to speak. And a ball of energy is an understatement for Powis. Codebreaker off the ropes. That could be all. And to your point, J-Rocc always knows where he is inside the ring ropes. Knew he was very, very close to those ropes. Did not have to force his way out. Just grab the rope, forcing the break. Smart wrestling, high ring IQ once again by J-Rocc.
And for all the speed, for all the momentum that Powis wants to try to build, all it takes is an opening.
Oh, man, wait a minute. Feet on the ropes. Referee catches J-Rocc. He's pleading innocence.
The ropes got in the way, LaMotta.
If you believe J-Rocc's innocent, you'd think OJ didn't do it. Wait a minute. Roll up here.
OJ.
Oh, man. Lariat took Powis' head off. And we know J-Rocc is a heavy hitter. He made Powers pay that time, but finds 2.5 once again. J-Rocc going to look a little deeper into the playbook. Could be looking to put this one away.
Well, the pure power that J-Rocc shows is something that's going to be very difficult. Oh,
up and over. But how much does Powers have left in the tank at this juncture?
How can you defend yourself against the power?
Or 2 thumbs deep into the eye sockets.
Again, you call it what you want to call it. I'll call it winning, LaMotta.
Look out, could be going for that power driver one more time. Oh. Powers sweeps the leg and catapults J-Rocc head first.
Powers knew where he was in the ring.
Powers could be going for the Herdian driver. He hits it, and he got him.
He had the tights. Did you see that? Maybe I'm seeing things, LaMotta, but I think he had the tights.
I think you're hallucinating.
Andrew
Maybe I'm just speaking mine again.
Andrew Powers, one of the most electric athletes on the VCW roster. And I'm telling you, brother, Powers could be putting himself back in the championship conversation here in VCW.
Well, this is a good win for Powers, if it was legitimate.
And McMecken is rocking this afternoon with Andrew Powers.
This is some momentum. That's a big win.
Of course, courtesy of IndyWrestling.us, the Indie Wrestling Network.
Hashtag VCW for all.
Yeah, let us know what you're thinking of this matchup. And we've got more action to come. What an afternoon.
This has been tremendous.
Absolutely
All
tremendous.
right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Andrew Powers, your winner tonight.
That's one thing you can say about Victory Championship Wrestling. You will never know exactly what's going to happen. That's why you have to join us here live.
It's totally unpredictable.
Let's not forget Cowpoke Paul still to come later tonight. Ripper Blackheart told us that Mad Dog Myers is going to make his return. How will he factor into this?
That's an X factor for sure.
With as wild as this afternoon has been, as we're heading into the home stretch here, I think anything is possible.
Well, of course, it's Victory Championship Wrestling.
That's the real calling card of VCW. I've had the privilege to be here for about the past year and a half, and I'm going to tell you what, that's one thing. It is wild. It is unpredictable. It will keep you on the edge of your seat each and every time that you join us here on the Indie Wrestling Network.
You absolutely do not know what's going to happen.
And on the week prior to the 4th of July, a lot of fireworks have taken place here in McMecken.
There's been a lot of victory. I'm not sure there's been a lot of justice.
Speaking of 4th of July, Deck, what time's the cookout on Thursday?
Like you're invited, LaMotta.
So about 6 o'clock.
You mind your own business. I don't care what you do, what hole you have to climb out of to celebrate. I just hope you have all your limbs after that day.
Not exactly the friendliest person, are you? But I appreciate you being here. Joining me here, of course, Eamon handling our ring announcing duties.
I said I wanted you to have all your limbs.
That's a low bar to clear. I guess we're not getting lunch on the way home
It's
either.
a triple threat match.
Sure,
And it's
it's
for
on
the
you.
#1 contendership to the VCW Heavyweight Championship.
High stakes here, Deck. The #1 contender for the VCW Heavyweight Championship will be determined, and there's Josh Main
Your
again.
referee, senior official Josh Main.
He's more compromised than a politician, I'll tell you that.
What's your beef against politicians? Again, you got to be smart enough to realize there are certain things that you don't talk about, and politics has to be one of them.
Introducing first.
Well, Josh Main assigned this contest.
I've never met a politician that I don't like.
Participant number 1 hails from Memphis, Tennessee, and weighs in tonight at 230 pounds. No good, Nathan Aulridge.
He is mean, he is nasty, and he is miserable. He is one of the hardest hitters in VCW, Nathan Aulridge.
And LaMotta, again, he's not mean.
And his opponent. Hailing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he weighs in tonight at 230 pounds, Mad Dog Myers.
Mad Dog Myers, we have not seen him in VCW in quite some time, as the culmination of the war between the team VCW and the Origin saw the disintegration of that partnership several months back. But who is this young lady that has accompanied Mad Dog Myers to the ring?
I don't know, LaMotta. She looks like she means business.
And their opponent. Hailing from J-Rocc, Wyoming, weighing in tonight at 175 pounds, he is the leader of the Cowpoke Posse, Cowpoke Paul!
This young man has been adopted by the VCW faithful. He is salt of the earth. He is as blue collar as they come, and he is ultra talented, one Cowpoke Paul.
Why don't you call him nasty? Why don't you call him mean?
Because he's a very nice young man.
No.
And he's looking to conquer that VCW heavyweight championship, but you can't get there without that #1 contendership. And Deck, if you can, maybe give us some insight here. How does this three-way aspect come into play when you've got to have eyes in the back of your head, so to speak?
Well, again, there's just a tremendous dynamic that's completely different when you have a three-way match as opposed to a one-on-one. And you have to prepare completely differently for this type of match.
And let's not forget that Mad Dog Myers and Cowpoke Paul have an extensive history during the war between VCW and the Origin. It was a bull rope match between Cowpoke Paul and Mad Dog Myers, so a lot of animosity already built into this matchup, and immediately Cowpoke trying to hit anything that moves.
Oh, that was not the plan.
If you need a pair of fingerprints from any of these athletes, just check the torso of Aulridge. Our broadcast pal, Eamon Payton, called Cowpoke Paul the Yeehaw Kid, and he certainly lives up to that name. He is young, he is energetic, and in just 2 years in the wrestling business, is already a multiple-time champion in many organizations, but he has yet to reach the pinnacle here in VCW.
And the Cowpoke going back and forth on both of these gentlemen, that's the unorthodox manner that you have to try to play in a match like this.
And right now, definitive advantage for Cowpoke. Mad Dog Myers wisely going to take a powder outside the ring.
Let's talk about something for a second, LaMotta. Who is this woman? Who exactly? Right here.
Well, Cowpoke's going to find out before any of us.
Who is she?
I can tell you she's an athlete. You can see the muscle mass, and she's not backing down from anybody,
She
including
is
Aulridge.
Not. Absolutely not backing down.
The scowl on her face is an interesting dynamic here. With a scowl like that, I think she may have talked to you at some point during today.
LaMotta, shut your mouth.
And things are changing on a dime. That's how fast-paced a three-way matchup can be, because Cowpoke finds himself in trouble. Otani-style face wash by Aulridge.
When you talk about momentum, Aulridge is certainly building that momentum.
And let's not forget, there was no low that Aulridge won't sink to for success. About a year or so ago, he burned Izzy Lambert with that fireball.
I think you mean he wants the win by any cost necessary.
Look out here, Mad Dog measuring the Cowpoke. Could be taking too much time. This could be a mistake, and it was. But as soon as Cowpoke avoided the jeopardy of the Mad Dog, he got bull rushed by Aulridge.
And that woman is just continuing to just stalk the ring.
Well, she's here for a purpose. It's just we don't know exactly what that purpose is.
I know what the purpose is.
Are you going to enlighten us here what the purpose is?
It's none of your business.
Jawbreaker from Cowpoke. Fighting with that grit and tenacity that we know him for, but he got smashed right in the mouth. Mad Dog trying to pick the bones. Aulridge not going to let that happen.
See, I am surprised at the strategy here. These two men, Myers and Aulridge, they seem to have been working together as a team of some sort, but
well, that's temporary at best in a triple threat scenario. And this is getting very dangerous. Oh man, Myers just punted Cowpoke right in the nose.
And when you have a three-way like this, it's so difficult to try to determine, do you work both men? You try to just pick one and try to decimate that person in the hopes of getting the win.
Well, Mad Dog can't see. I think he may have caught a thumb to the eye.
Well, that was purely a mistake if that was the case. Nonetheless effective. Ooh.
Oh, man. Mad Dog racks the jaw of Aulridge. And this is smart here because this is Mad Dog Myers seizing control of the match. And one thing that, and Deck, you know this very, very well, the career of Mad Dog Myers through his association with the Origin, he has really evolved as an athlete. I really believe that Mad Dog Myers, we're seeing the best Mad Dog today that we've ever seen in his VCW career.
And if he has some sort of affiliation with this woman,
well, clearly he does.
That's the X factor.
Oh man, look at Aulridge. Someone that big shouldn't be able to move like that. Huge lariat from the Cowpoke. And the Cowpoke is cooking in McMecken. The Mad Dog hits the floor very, very hard, but Aulridge measuring Cowpoke. Big mid-ring collision. Everyone hits the canvas very, very hard.
And it's not going to make much of a difference if Cowpoke can't capitalize on this.
That's a very good point, Declan. Referee Josh Main laying down the count here.
And in a three-way match like this, you know, that's fine if both men are down, but now you get that third man who has an opportunity to also regroup, catch his breath, try to do what he can.
It depends how opportunistic you can be as well. That's another aspect of this because you have to pick your spots. And man, Cowpoke took his head off.
Oh my.
Cowpoke got it. Cowpoke Paul the #1 contender.
Your winner and the #1 contender to the VCW Heavyweight Championship, Cowpoke Paul!
Wait a minute, that young lady just passed the chair to Mad Dog, and Mad Dog just waffled the Cowpoke.
Now, this is where business starts right here, LaMotta. Look at
Pile
this.
driver on the chair.
These two are a force. And I knew this was going to happen. As soon as I saw her come out, I knew there was a plan. I knew something was up.
Well, Cowpoke is in a heap. We need some help here for Cowpoke Paul. Mad Dog Myers and whoever this woman is, they have certainly left their mark on this afternoon in McMecken.
Myers got all the help he needs, my friend.
Well, she looks like a very, very dangerous insurance policy, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. It's exactly what she is.
Violence personified this afternoon in McMecken, but where does this leave Cowpoke Paul? He's favoring his neck.
Oh, look. This is the guy that won. This is the guy that won, LaMotta. Must be a nice guy. That's all that matters.
Wait a minute.
In your mind.
Whoa. That's Patrick Hayes' music.
What?
Are we going to have this matchup now?
No way.
We can't allow Hayes to get away with this.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's not forget how Patrick Hayes obtained that championship in his hands right now. Like a snake in the grass, he blindsided the Beastman at War Games, and when he lost that loser leaves VCW matchup, wormed his way back in to win the VCW title.
Brilliant is what it is, LaMotta. It's brilliant.
And once again, like a real snake, like a true serpent, Patrick Hayes is going to slither his way down to ringside to try to make an easy night after Cowpoke Paul not only had to deal with a three-way matchup to win the #1 contendership, but also got absolutely railroaded with that chair.
Look, if you want to be on top, you have to be prepared for anything. I don't feel bad for Cowpoke at all. This is brilliant.
Looks like Patrick Hayes making friends here in McMecken.
He doesn't need any friends.
And you want to talk about the deck being, you want to talk about a rigged situation, the deck being stacked.
You want to talk about being stacked? Look at that man right there, LaMotta. This is absolutely brilliant.
Well, we know that Patrick Hayes is one of the most accomplished athletes of his generation. On any given day, he is a tough test for anyone.
And what's the Cowpoke going to? Look at him laying in the middle of the ring. He's just fought two other men.
The Cowpoke can't even stand.
This is just brilliant.
And I can't believe we're going to let this situation stand.
I love it.
According to senior official Josh Mann, this match will take place. This match is now for the VCW Heavyweight Championship. Cowpoke Paul versus Pretty Patrick Hayes.
Yes.
And this is going to be an official matchup? Are you kidding me?
Wait a second. I don't know that should have happened. That looked like Hayes might have not been ready for that match to start.
Yeah, well, Hayes looks a little shook right now. Hayes wants an easy trip to the pay window, and Cowpoke Paul is refusing to stay down. But he may be put down by Patrick Hayes.
Now, this is a minor setback, but Hayes will definitely find a way.
And referee Josh is absolutely drunk with power. I'm going to say it. The fact that Josh sanctioned this matchup when Cowpoke Paul is in this condition after what he's had to endure this afternoon.
When you want to be on top, you have to be prepared for anything. Again, you're making Cowpoke out to be someone who's a sympathetic character, and you know what? That's not championship material, Amata.
And this is the nasty nature of Hayes. He will meticulously pick apart an opponent.
He's a winner.
Oh, man. Buried the knee into the breadbasket that time.
He's a winner. He wins.
Well, certainly, Patrick Hayes has won more championships than we have time to name on this broadcast. I'm not taking anything away from Patrick Hayes as an accomplished wrestler. I'm talking about his motivation and his attitude here.
Look, you call him a snake. You say he slithers out here.
Is this becoming of a champion, defending the title against someone that is clearly compromised?
Who has the belt, Lamata? It's results. That's what matters.
Well, I can't argue with that.
And that's why Cowpoke is out here on the floor.
But I'll tell you what, it's a damn shame that Cowpoke Paul had to endure Nathan Aulridge, Mad Dog Myers, the attack with that chair, and now Patrick Hayes is going to try to come in here and pick the bones.
It's the price of doing business.
Oh, man, you heard the body hit the wooden floor.
It's the price of doing business, and you know what? Patrick Hayes was just smart enough to take advantage of it. It was brilliant. It's a brilliant plan. And now he's just toying with Cowpoke Paul.
Well, he can't win the matchup out on the floor. So what this is telling you...
Do you want to tell Patrick Hayes what he can do?
What this is telling you is that Hayes wants to punish Cowpoke.
Of course he does.
Oh, my God. You heard that sick thud. That is the body of that young man rocking off this wooden gym floor. Of course, you're watching VCW Victory and Justice for All, June 30th here on the Indie Wrestling Network. My name's Jim LaMotta, you're Declan Finnegan, and that is Patrick Hayes calling the plays piece by piece, page by page, and Cowpoke is in a bad way.
Tell you what, you want to check out some good action? Hashtag VCW for All, and you're going to see Patrick Hayes. Look, he's just toying with the man at this point.
Why are you so, you're gleeful about this. Why are you so happy
I
about
just
this?
like winners, LaMotta. I like winners. I like people who win.
Yeah, you've never seen so much winning, right? Look out, right on the button. And does Cowpoke could Cowpoke shock the world?
No way. Absolutely not.
Hayes looks a little surprised more than damaged in this situation.
I'll admit there's a little bit of disappointment, but this is, again, just a factor of not being able to do this quite as quick. Oh, no.
Power slam,
Oh,
back
no.
press. And Hayes, again, getting that shoulder up.
Like I said, I think he's just a little bit disappointed that this match has to have gone this long, but it's a temporary setback.
Cowpoke could be going for that lariat. Oh, man. Look out. Brain buster planted Paul into the canvas. It could be academic. But again, Paul escapes. Patrick Hayes is shocked, and quite frankly, so am I.
No, he's just toying with the man again. And it's just a matter of time.
You're spinning so many narratives, you're going to get dizzy, brother. I'm going to tell you that.
Shut your mouth, LaMotta.
Hayes could be going for that trademark frog splash. He's won multiple championships with this maneuver.
And this is the beginning of the end.
He got caught, but I don't know how much Paul really has left in the tank.
He doesn't. He just fought two other men. And now he has to go up against Patrick Hayes?
Look out here. Dangerous situation. Very precarious. And I don't know how Cowpoke is finding the reserves to continue to fight on. That is all guts, grit, and tenacity from the Cowpoke.
But look how dirty all of a sudden Cowpoke Paul has to resort to. See, this is not what is becoming of a champion.
Look out. High-risk situation here. Superplex. Everyone goes crashing to the canvas. And win, lose, or draw, Cowpoke Paul is showing the heart that he brings to the ring each and every time here.
Somebody's going to have to cover.
And Cowpoke is reaching down deep. Could be going for the Dust Ball DDT. He hits it. Could we have a new champion in McMecken? Cowpoke inching his way. Hooks that leg. And Hayes with the foot on the rope forces the break.
Again, it's smart. It's smart. It's intelligent. And Patrick Hayes knows exactly where he is in the ring every time. That's why he's a winner.
That's one of the reasons he's a champion. No doubt about that.
And I don't blame Cowpoke for being confused at this point. He's already fought 2 men. He has to face Patrick Hayes immediately after this. And he has no answers.
And Hayes looks like he's trying to get out of Dodge here.
No, he doesn't.
And I believe Cowpoke Paul is calling the bluff of the champion. And Hayes has had enough. Are you kidding me? He's going to try to walk out of this championship matchup?
No. That's not what's happening here, LaMotta.
Cowpoke intercepts.
Oh, no.
Puts the champion back in the ring where Cowpoke can win the matchup and, of course, the title. But speaking of the title, you saw Patrick Hayes. He's clutching that championship. Cowpoke does not see it.
And I see Cowpoke Paul all of a sudden trying to bring a steel chair into this match.
Look out. Cowpoke avoids the contact. Hayes does not. Tattooed Hayes. Hooks that leg. 2. Oh, Hayes gets the shoulder up. Cowpoke was inches away from being the brand new VCW heavyweight champion.
But did you see when he had to do it?
High drama here in McMecken.
LaMotta, you cannot tell me that you just didn't see him try to use this steel chair to his advantage. That's not becoming of a champion. You don't see...
wait a minute.
You don't see Patrick Hayes resorting to that type of tomfoolery.
You mean like the low blow that he just delivered?
What did you see? I didn't see that.
And referee Josh finally got something that's going to shut him up for the rest of the evening. God bless America.
There's no justice here whatsoever. The referee is down and out.
Wait a minute. Hayes is perched up top. He hits it. Big time impact.
1, 2, 3.
Here comes
4.
George. Referee George
Get in there,
Ross.
What?
And Josh Main just interrupted George Ross.
Ross can't count to 3.
What in the hell is going on?
This is completely unfair to Patrick Hayes.
We have a power struggle in the middle of a championship matchup.
This looks like the Sahara with so many zebras out there.
Wait a minute. Hayes has the title again.
Well, of course. It's his title. Why should he have his title, LaMotta?
Wait a minute. Referee George Ross has just seen what Hayes is clearly planning to do here. Hayes wants to use that title.
Did he see the steel chair that was used by Cowpoke?
And let's not forget, Hayes
Again.
had the count that was interrupted. George Ross intercepts.
That's Hayes' championship.
Oh, what the hell is that? He blindsided George.
Ross was trying to steal his championship.
Wait a minute. Dust Bowl DDT. He hits it.
This is highway robbery.
lariat from J-Rocc. Takes Hayes inside out. Breaks the leg. Cowpoke has done it.
You've got to be kidding me!
Against
And the new VCW Heavyweight Champion, Cowpoke!
Zach, what I'm going to ask you.
Well, hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. And you know where we can find that?
Yes.
On the Wrestling Mayhem.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.